careful what you wish for, Russ, because you're on a team that goes to the playoffs every single year. And I know that they flamed out by the divisional round every year since those 2 Super Bowl runs, but they go to the playoffs every year. They have acquired for you on the offensive line Dwayne Brown, who is a 4-time Pro Bowler. They just drafted in the 3rd round an offensive lineman that ends up as an all-rookie team member. They drafted DK Metcalf, one of the best deep threats right now in wide receivers, young wide receivers in football. They have consistently found reasonable running backs for you. They just made a big trade for Jamal Adams last year, and they gave you all of the money, and allowed a historic defense to go away and said, Russ, this is your team. Now, do you want Russell Wilson throwing more? Okay. We can have a conversation about an offense, which should adjust to allowing Russ more control. But I don't know. I also watched a Seahawks team last year that gave Russell Wilson a lot of chances to throw the ball. A lot. Because that's why he was a first-half MVP candidate, because it felt like he was throwing rainbows to DK Metcalf and company every week on the deep ball. And then, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but in the second half, defenses caught up with what they were doing. And if you, again, want to make the argument, well, they should bring in a different offensive coordinator or offensive mind to fit with what Russ can do. Okay, seems like they have. But that's a different conversation than they don't support Russell Wilson or Russell Wilson is sick of his role in Seattle. That's a totally different conversation. I just don't understand how a guy that is there, that had played for them, can say they don't trust Russ. And on the other hand, they cleaned house and said, Russ, it's your team. They gotta trust him a little bit then. Again, the takes on Russell Wilson yesterday were somewhat outlandish, somewhat outrageous, and I guess that's par for the course for today's sports media. But it seemed like, of course they trust Russell Wilson. Again, do you want to build more of an offense specifically around him? Okay, some of that is that Russ is going to get hit a lot because he does extend plays, right? And he is a mobile running quarterback, right? So that's inherently built into what he does as his game, as his type of style. But that's different than they don't support him, or they're not listening enough to him, or he needs to go somewhere else to have a better chance to win a Super Bowl. He was just in the playoffs and got completely shut down by the Rams D. Completely. And we're going to say that was just on everybody but Russell Wilson? That was everybody else's fault?